I'm Donna, and I'm here today with Kathleen, and we are both artists in Salisbury. I paint used and found furniture, and you may have seen Kathleen's work around town. She's painted some of the surfboards and the trash barrels and murals, and she's also participated in some of the craft fairs in the area. Today we're going to introduce you to a project, Kindness Rocks. Now, for those of you that do not know what Kindness Rocks are, it is a rock garden that is typically found in some community location, and it's filled with painted rocks. Now, these rocks have been painted with inspirational messages. They're very colorful and bright and cheery. So you may come across one of these rock gardens and might find a rock that you find is meaningful to you, and you're welcome to take it. The other thing is you might find a rock that you feel is good for a friend and who may need a little inspiration, and you can pick that up too. And today we're going to have a painted rock demonstration in which we hope you will participate in the project by painting rocks and adding them to the rock garden.
I love the little beach scenes and flip-flops and stuff, but you can do fruits, you can do inspirational words. Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining us. We're excited to bring this project to Salisbury. What I'm going to do is walk you through everything you need to know to get started painting rocks. I'm also going to do a painting demonstration to show you how to paint rocks, and this will give us lots of tips and ideas of things that you can paint when you join us with the project. So we have everything we need to get started. I'm going to walk you through all the supplies. We're going to start with the rocks. You can get rocks just about anywhere. A lovely place would be, of course, on Salisbury Beach, but you can get them at parks or your own yard. I like the ones that are smooth and round, but there's all different sizes, shapes. It's nice to have a variety. So there's your rocks. You'll also want to make sure that you clean them. You'll want to put them in the sink with regular dish soap, get them washed and dried. And then, of course, paint. You can get a variety of colors at most stores, craft stores. I have a bunch of different colors here. There's also acrylic markers and acrylic pens that are available in craft stores. And if you want to do fine detailing on some of the rocks, you'll want to grab those. That will be helpful. Of course, a variety of brushes. Like I said, most stores you can get a variety pack. And next we would need is some palette, something to put your paint on. So I use just paper plates, or you can pick up like a plastic placemat, might be handy as well. You'll want to have some water to rinse your brushes. And as you can see, everything is on a drop cloth because you'll want to protect your area, as well as I have an apron, but you can just wear an old t-shirt that you don't mind if it gets a little paint on it. And the last thing you're going to want is a sealant, because we want them to be able to last outside. And you can use a spray if you have good ventilation, or any type of polyacrylic water-based clear coat that would be applied with a sponge brush. All right, and we also brought some, I brought some samples of some of the rocks that I've painted. I tend to love the little beach scenes and the flip-flops and stuff, but you can do fruits, you can do inspirational words, which would be great for the Kindness Rock project. So once you've selected your rocks and they've been cleaned, you're going to get your area set up as we talked about, and I'm going to show you here some rocks that I have in various stages. So the very first thing I like to do after I have my rocks ready to roll is I like to have some inspiration to reference. So I usually just go on Google and I get some little summer icons. This one I found has all nice inspirational words: love, believe, dream, joy, which would be perfect for the Kindness Rocks project. So what I have here is, like I said, rocks in various stages. It's good to work on several at one time because the rocks are porous and they take a couple of layers at least to give you a good base. This is an example of one that just has one coat of white paint, and as you can see, it's pretty thin. So we can, if you're working on a few different ones at one time, what I do is, all right, we're gonna make this one purple. I'm gonna put a nice coat of purple, and even that purple's kind of thin. But you know, you're gonna get another coat on there and then leave this alone. You know, let it dry so you can work on the next one. So the other ones that I have, I always like to try to make it nice and smooth. Makes a difference in the end. Rinse your brush. So here's one that I sort of went with the texture of the rock and I turned it into a sunset kind of a look. So it was several coats of yellow, several coats of blue, and then I throw, you can see by that, I put a little bit of light blue on top, throw a little pink for the sunset. And I'm gonna just do a real, you know, focal point with the sun right here. Whoops, a little too much red, huh? So we can have more of a sunset. Sort of blend that together. And then you bring it into the ocean. And then I'd probably let that, I'm gonna fix that a little bit. Probably let that dry. And then I'm thinking that I would put a nice, an inspirational word on the top. All right, this little guy here, I had a couple of coats of a nice green, and I have just one coat for a little octopus. So he came from the little picture that I had right here. So I mean, it's basic shapes. It's, you know, you don't have to necessarily be an artist, but, and I'm gonna show you some other examples as well, but let me just show you, once I put another coat, that's not the right brush. I can have mine. So I'm gonna use a tiny brush so that I can get this nice little octopus. What I do is use different shades of a similar, so you've got yellow and orange, and you can see how the orange kind of peeks out from behind. And he might actually, this might look good with a little inspirational word as well. So I'm gonna leave that alone. We'll put some eyes in that in a little bit. Another thing you can do is put a couple of coats of your base color that you like, and then get some of these acrylic markers. They have acrylic paint inside, so you have to shake them up. And then the way they work is you sort of have to press on the tip and to get the paint to come down. It has the instructions right on it. But I'm gonna put a nice inspirational word here. We'll do joy. So you see how you have a lot more control when you can use these markers. So those are fun. You're gonna let that dry. Another idea is to just do a design or a pattern. So here I got going on a dot method with sort of like a mandala. And what I would do is I would just go around this. You know, this might be something if you just feel patient enough to do it. They're fun, and it's a pattern, so it's not difficult. It's just, you just take your time with it. Have your little paint, you need a nice small paintbrush, and just go around. And then, you know, you're gonna rinse your brush, and you can put another complementary color. So we can throw some, how about yellow next to the red, I think would be fun. You know, you could do any shape, any design. You can do abstract. Oops. Large and in charge dot. I'm just picking up from that. And I always say quirky is fun. So if it's not perfect, that's okay too. Whoop, now I got the red involved. All right. And you could just keep going around with different colors. And don't forget, acrylic paint is very forgiving. So if you don't like it, you can paint over it. Okay, so let's go back to our sunset. I'd like to finish this one. So I'm going to put a nice inspirational word. I'm going to go back to these markers. I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I'm going to go with blue. And, we're going to make sure we got some ink flowing. And I'll put the word dream. I'm going to do capital letters this time. Just nice and simple. And let that dry. And once you're happy with your design and you have a finished rock, you will want to let the acrylic paint dry completely. And then, which would be about, to be safe, 24 hours. Then you want to seal it, which you'll also want to let dry for 24 hours. And then you have a nice kindness rock that you can share.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. That was terrific. And we hope that you've enjoyed this demonstration. And I hope that you were encouraged to go out and find some rocks and paint your own kindness rock. And also that you've been inspired to join our project. The sites, the locations are at the end of the video. So enjoy, have fun. Thank you for joining us, and have a great summer.